be in the gym like a bikini, like a competitive bikini athlete. Cause like I guarantee, like China's probably in the gym 6 to 7 days a week. Like the way her physique looks and the amount of time that she spends training and conditioning, you cannot build a physique like that going to the gym 3 to 4 days a week, doing 15 to 20 minutes of cardio. Um, my physique, like I don't go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week and do 20 minutes of cardio. Like training is intense, cardio. Sometimes it feels intense, specifically when I'm in prep and even in the off season. Like I don't stop doing cardio. So for an individual that wants to compete but may not be able to commit as much time in the gym, may not have the money to spend on a high end bikini because the bikinis aren't cheap. So like it gives them an opportunity to compete, but have more flexibility in their time, more flexibility with their schedule, more flexibility with their finances, more flexibility with life. Because being a competitive athlete, as far as like bikini, I'll speak for myself, it can be very time consuming,
Mm-hmm.
very time consuming. So I feel like it serves a purpose for those that want to fulfill it. On the
Yeah.
other hand, I like muscle. I like being in the gym. I like, so like being in the gym for an hour to 2 hours for me, it doesn't bother me, So like I like it, but for someone else, they may feel like it's too much of a commitment. But then, fit model still allows them that opportunity to invest in a hobby that doesn't require as much time, but still a commitment, Because from the sounds of it, I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think because you still have to be conditioned. Like it may not be as conditioned as a bikini athlete, but you can't go in there looking like, you did a 2 week prep. You still got to sacrifice time and energy into a fit model prep. So I don't take away from what anybody does in this industry because at the end of the day, whether it's bodybuilding, figure, women's physique, bikini, wellness, whatever, it's all going to take time. It's all a sacrifice. So to each its own.
Yeah, because like I said, doing these interviews, talk to you ladies, yeah, there is a lot of sacrifice to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you do have to love this sport when you get into it. Because, like I said, it's not much. It's not as lucrative. If you're lucky enough, you have sponsors
Yeah.
that help you out. Like, are you sponsored?
No. And if there's anyone that wants to sponsor me, hey, DM me. Like I would love the opportunity to collaborate or have someone sponsor me or just send me samples, whatever the case may be. Like I'm open to it because it is
Yeah,
expensive. Yeah.
yeah. Because, like I said, and guys, she's serious about sponsors, but guys, we don't want no weird stuff. Come on, guys, be
No.
smart. We don't want no trouble. Her son wrestles. We don't want to be her boy. Be like, hey, what was she to my mom? You're like you choking somebody
I'm,
out in the middle of the
I'm
room.
married.
Yeah,
I got a
she.
husband.
Yeah, they don't care. They do not care. This is the thing about this. Most of the guys, especially guys who follow me, you like muscle, but they love muscles. It excites them when they see y'all buff ladies. It's just y'all just make them like they're like dogs chasing cars. They wouldn't know what to do with it. They get one. So they get
Mhm.
it's just about a particular look, especially the woman. And there's always a debate, especially when it comes down to the men and women when it comes to competing. Like when guys are getting ready, like I was talking discussion, it costs them more because they need supplements, the food, everything like that. But women's show day, where everything is, where like I said, the posing suits right there. That's couple
It's it.
thousand. It's just about depending on what division you're in. Your hair,
Makeup,
your makeup, travel
name. Yep.
expenses.
Hmm.
Going to the shows. Then you become a pro. You got to pay for your pro fee every year. You keep up the pro card up,
Yep.
updated, and then everything that's involved in it. And you look at the guys. All they got to wear a pair of banana hammers and boy shorts.
Yeah.
That's it. They put on the
That's
tan. Other than like just shave their head or just put some mousse and go out there. Y'all ladies have to look presentable because, like you said, the lady talk about she don't want to be as muscular as you, but that's the thing is people when they see a woman with just a little bit of muscle, it kind of offends their sense,
yeah.
especially their idea. From especially with your background because you're a half Filipino,
Yes.
and that's a very traditional kind of society. It's a bit of a Asian, also European kind of
Hmm.
Dramatic over in the Philippines. And I know a friend of mine, I'm surprised he'd be love to be here to talk to you because he's a big fan of Filipino women. And
Hmm.
also I've talked to a lady who's a Filipino competitor. What's that like, especially as you know, talk about your husband, your kids, and your kids support you. What about your other family, like your mother and your brother?
So my family has been very supportive, even my family in the Philippines. So like they'll message me from time to time where they'll comment on my reels or whatever. And they say, you know, like, oh, I'm so proud of you. You look really good. I wish I could do what you're doing. So everyone has been very positive. My aunt, so you know, like being half black, every black kid got a TT, right? So, um, my TT, my aunt Sylvia, like, she has even been like very supportive, very encouraging. Like I remember when I first started bodybuilding, and I kind of thought like I didn't know what my aunt would think because my dad was like, well, don't get too muscular. You don't look like a man, you know. And I'm just like, whatever, dad. Like, I'm not gonna, whatever. But my aunt, you know, like she was very supportive, and she's like always just been like encouraging. And one thing that she said to me, and it stuck with me, she was like, you know, Kathy, I want you to know that like obviously like you're in this, and there's levels to it. Everybody can't go to the top with you. And
Mm-hmm.
that right there, I was just like, you know what? You're right. You know, like there were some people where it was just like, okay, they served a purpose, you know, like, but your negative energy, like, I can't take that with me, you know. Or there were times where I had to like minimize conversations just to protect like my inner peace because being in prep is like so exhausting, like mentally, physically, emotionally, sometimes even spiritually, depending on like where you are. So like it can just be exhausting. It can affect relationships. You know, like if you're not communicating with people, like I know people who have competed and just completely shut everybody down. And then once they come off the stage, who do you have? They didn't have nobody because they shut all their family out, you know. So there are so many levels to it, and everybody can't go with you, but you know who's going to ride with you, you know, and you know who to take with you. So you like in this sport, you got to know who your inner circle is.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
got
good to
to,
have. Yeah,
yeah,
it's good to have that because it's important for anybody, any athlete gets it,
yeah,
especially in bodybuilding because it's not a very popular sport. It's not mainstream. I remember when I was coming up, you used to catch it on ESPN or Fox Sports, or I remember
yeah,
even the networks, sports stations used to have it, but
hmm,
it's because it's so extreme, it's so
yep,
different, and it's always and again, everybody always put in it's steroids, it's steroids. It's only a small factor,
yeah,
especially it's used for recovery when you want to get back to the gym the next day. You
yeah,
know, there's even natural bodybuilders. I've interviewed ladies who do natural bodybuilding, even you on some kind of stuff. No, it's a different look, but still it's not the same. And your
yeah,
dad say, I know your dad. Is there any man? He said like, hey, I don't want my little girl to be my little boy, or I got a son, I don't need another. But
hmm,
it's good that you have support with like your aunt and the rest of your family that still stand by you. I know your
yeah.
dad probably changed his mind because you're his little girl,
He's
as you
proud.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
he's
yeah.
proud of me. And then my little sister, I have a younger sister, so Valerie is 16 years younger than me, and Valerie has always been positive too. And last year, as I started prep, my sister said to me, she was like, "This is your bamboo season," and that stuck with me too. And she was like, "Bamboo is planted in the ground, and then and it takes 3 years for it to grow." And once it hits the surface, it's just like it just rises above the ground and it just doesn't stop. So she was like, like the seed was planted in the ground. She was like, your group, my glutes, they're popping. She was like, this is your bamboo season. And like that carried me through prep, like, so I feel like since doing this, I've been blessed because I've always had like someone in my corner speaking positive into me. even when it was like hard for me to like see what other people saw or just like speaking to myself. It was just like God had someone placed there like to speak into me and to help me keep going. So like I don't know for anybody else, but like for me, when people ask me how do I do this, my answer is God. Like God has given me the strength to do this. So it's God. It's not Catherine's strength. It's God's strength.
Yeah. It's good to have faith. This is important.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that separates humans from animals. We have faith. We have our own, our free will.
Hmm.
You have to have a passion for it. Like when I'm doing
Yeah.
this content, there's times where I get fed up with this. I mean, trying to reach out to y'all ladies, y'all, yeah, I don't kill those, but this is something I want to show you. I love because this is like my other guy. If you ever do something, he says like never do for free, and this is my payment. And I always
Hmm.
want to talk this out because this is why I remember wrestling used to be a big fan of was Triple H from WWE. He says like, "I am the game. I am that damn good." And if you're that damn good, like this is an issue of muscle development with
Yeah.
Andre.
Hmm.
And I always want to talk this out. And I know guys in there say, "Hey, wait a minute," because you know what? Because I love this woman, and she took the time out. Someone she never met or even know. She signed this for me, and she told
Yeah.
me she thanks me for my support.
She's
And like she,
awesome.
yeah, she is awesome. Any ladies and no ladies have told me about her. One of these days, I would love to meet her. I'd love to marry her, but I know you don't. But this is what not just doing stuff for like someone like Andrea, but when I post stuff on my social media. I
Yeah.
saw a lady, she commented on one of my live streams and she liked now I got into with her coming up. And you have to do this as a passion. There's no big reward of it other than thank you or appreciation or just letting people
Hmm.
know that hey, I respect who you are. Yes, as when I was a younger man, I just find out ladies appealing, just but right, I get to learn what it takes to be somebody in this sport, being a man
Hmm.
or a woman. I
Hmm.
mean, you have to have. It's good things you have support because, like I say, you don't. The quote my man Rocky Balboa, life can beat you down and bring
Yeah.
you to your knees,
Hmm.
but not how hard you can take the hits. How hard you can, how hard you can hit, but take the hits to keep moving forward.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, so what's the plan now? Now you feel like because I know with China, she jumped in a couple of shows after she got a pro card. What's the plan for you?
Right now, my coach and I were focused on just improving my physique, and he'll let me know when it's go time. Yeah, I don't like to put the pressure on myself of like setting dates and stuff. Just tell me when it's time. Tell me when it's time to go, and I'll be ready to go.
Mhm. It's like
Mhm.
tell me what going in again, game coach. Just tell me when I'm ready.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just tell me. Like when you say okay, no more carbs, no more carbs. When you say increase the cardio, I'll increase the cardio. So it's just my coach will let me know when it's time.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's good that you have a good relationship with your coach. That's important because you know
Mhm.
what I've heard stories where sometimes some lady jumps from a coach to coach because of things didn't work out with them, or we just we recently has passed and was a young lady who passed away. I'm going to talk about that on
Mhm.
a upcoming live stream where I got. And it's good to have that relationship because sometimes some coaches will, especially you're a bikini competitor, and I've known coaches that gave girls in like even in figure the
Mhm.
same plan to give to a men's open bodybuilder,
That's
which
crazy.
doesn't work because men and women biologically are different. We're
Mhm.
the same race, but we're different species per se.
Mhm.
What thing might work for a man will not work for a woman.
Right.
It's just about how the body grows, how it develops. Like as you been doing this sport for a while, did anybody other than Andrea, everybody you see that you really, kind of respect or admire as an athlete?
Oh, as like I have so much love and respect for Vanya.
Yes, she just
Congratulations to
yes,
Vanya on
congratulations.
yes on your Arnold win on being the first African American Haitian woman to place first at the Arnold's. I had the pleasure of working with Vanya last season. She helped me earn my pro card. She was my posing coach. But like I have so much love and respect for Vanya because one thing that nobody can say or that nobody can take away from Vanya is she's consistent. She like she's consistent. She shows up. She like her physique, it speaks for herself. Her posing, it speaks for itself. And she has just such a kind, warm spirit. For her to be an Olympian, like, and then to meet her in person is so humbling because it's just like she doesn't wear the title as Olympian, as Miss Arnold International. Like she's Vanya, and that's one thing that I just like admire her for who she is. And you know she she's not on social media, like like she's just Vanya, like she's consistent, she's humble, she's sweet, and like I said, her work ethic it speaks for itself. So like I have a lot of love and a lot of respect for Vanya. And
Mm-hmm.
then I had the pleasure of meeting Andrea Shaw, and yeah, she is such an honest person from just like what I got from her in that one conversation. Like I really appreciate how honest she is. And then, my Filipino roots loves Maureen. I love Maureen Blanquisco. Like she's just got a beautiful physique as well. But like yeah, there are quite a few people where it's just like, wow, like I hope I get to meet them one day because I just like I feel like their physiques, it speaks for themselves. Sid, like her physique, it speaks for itself, and she seems like she's just like a real person. So yeah, there's quite a few people in the industry that I just like. I have a lot of respect, and it's because the work ethic speaks for itself.
Yeah, I know. I went to my first bodybuilding show back in 2022. It was Savannah
Hmm.
Pro, and I got to meet some ladies at the interviews with Sheena Olick. I interviewed her a while back. I met her. I met Irene Anderson, the big Swede. It was a great opportunity to talk to her.
Hmm.
Alita Popa. I mean, that was because a friend of mine. She was one of her clients a while back, and I even saw Andre was actually guest posing at that show,
Yeah,
and it was great to see her live in person guest posing. And I remember I saw Linda Murray in front. She smiled at me. I mean, I wish I could talk to her, but she's busy.
yeah.
And just getting meeting these people that I've seen on in magazines and
Hmm.
on TV or online, it was just a great opportunity for me. I'm hoping maybe if situations, because I got a car, I got to take care of, it's in the shop in there for a year. I need a car if I need it. I live out the country, can't survive without. I'm getting tired using part and charge. I got two bad knees like Stone Cold Steve Austin. But yeah, but I
Hmm.
love to get the opportunity to go again. Here we have here is one Mina Bina. She is an OCB Pro. Shout out to Miss Bina. She says, I definitely resonate with the change of life and being addicted to all the changes that comes with bodybuilding, spiritually, physically, and mentally. Also financially. Forget that part because it is strained.
Hmm.
And you mentioned Vina, as you know, I don't do much about on the classic because this is my favorite quote from my favorite movie, Batman Begins. It's on what quite behind women's bodybuilding physique and figure and stabbed in the heart. He doesn't have them other than the amateurs. You don't
Hmm.
have them in the main show. But I did on my because this is something big historical. The first black woman to win the bikini division at Honor
Yeah.
Classic. I posted on my social media because this is something historic. I support my sisters. I love like all last month I was doing dedications to my beautiful black women of muscle in on my channel. I mean, because I'm a fan of it. It's just a beautiful thing, muscle and melody, you know. And congratulations to her.
Hmm.
And she did pretty good. Like I said, she was top 5 last year. Because
Yeah.
one thing I've always tried to do, one of my favorite quotes again, I love movies, and my favorite movies are Batman trilogies. As Ra's al Ghul told Bruce Wayne, "Be aware of surroundings all the time, Master Wayne.
Hmm.
Never
Hmm.
give us your footing for a killing blow." It's good that there's a lot more representation, especially for women in bodybuilding. Like when bodybuilding started out, it was just women's bodybuilding. Then here comes uh, fitness, and then figure, and bikini comes in, physique and wellness, and now you have a fit model. The sport is changing over time, and
Yeah.
a lot of open doors and opportunities, especially for women.
Hmm. Hmm. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So this is a question I asked. This is a question I asked because I'm a fat man. I'm a foodie. I like food. I love food. It's changed my body, but I love it. What was that? Especially after. universe, and you and Big Kenny, where did you go? Where did you get to satisfy your desire?
So honestly, okay, so when I went to universe, my husband couldn't go. My husband, he couldn't get the time off work. And then my son couldn't go because my son went to a wrestling camp. So the day that he came back from the wrestling camp was the day I left for universe. So one of my good childhood friends, Desiree, went with me. And so like Desiree, she matched my energy, right? So Desiree was just like, okay, her main, she was like, I'm here for you. She's like, but the only thing I want to do while we're out here is get halal food. So I was like, okay. And in my mind, I was like, I don't want no halal food. I want some pancakes. I want some steak, like I want some butter. I want some bread, like
That's a
I
fat,
want,
juicy, and sugary.
yeah, I'm like halal, but I was just like, whatever. And my husband was like, baby, she came all the way to New York with you. The least you can do is get halal food with her. So I was like, halal it is, okay.
Uh,
So we catch a cab to Manhattan. I'm like, I'm excited because I earned my pro card, but I'm hungry for food. So it was just like I need to bite into something juicy, greasy, savory, salty. So our driver, she asks the driver, like, where should we go to get some halal food? He's like, oh, you guys gotta go to Halal Brothers. Like, I'll drop you off. All you gotta do is just walk up the street, around the corner, boom, boom, it's right there. So we get dropped off. We start walking, George. When I tell you that it was a food cart, I was like, and the line was long, like an amusement park, like like long line. And in my mind, I'm like, I am not gonna wait. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not gonna wait in line for a freaking halal meal, whatever this is. I'm not gonna wait in line. So I stood there, but I didn't like say anything to Desiree. This is just like in my mind, right? So I'm just like, man, I'm like, Desiree, this line is pretty long. Like, I don't think I want to wait in line. And Desiree, being the person that it is, she's like, well, if you don't want to wait in line, it's fine. We'll go find something else. So I said, okay. So then we start walking. I'm like, let's just go to like a diner. Like diners, they got every and anything. So we start walking towards the diner. And then the GPS is like 30-minute walk. And I'm like, I'm not waiting 30 minutes. I don't want to walk 30. I'm like, I want to eat now. So then I said to her, I'm like, let's just check out this halal cart. I'll wait in line. I'm like, because the amount of time it takes for us to wait in